Dominic, that was your last Hello, New York.
Thank God. No.
I'm still not over it. I'm going to cry like a baby later. I promise.
I mean, you don't have to promise. It's going to happen.
This is Beyond the Game on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am Jacob Volk. Sitting across from me, Dominick Arbolino, Eric Fischetti, and Nick Ornberger. Guys, what's good?
Pretty
We're
good.
Sad.
Crazy feels, I guess.
Crazy feels, yeah.
We got all these
around.
feelings.
It's weird.
I have a bunch of napkins that I am more than willing to share with you guys.
I mean, we might as well just make a song now, and then people will want to get out of the car and dance to it.
This is like the Beatles breaking up, you know what I mean? Like,
Which one is he, Ringo?
I don't know.
No.
I mean, I am bigger than Jesus, I will say that. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't have the hair to be John.
The number to call, if you have something on your mind, is 516-572-7440. And we got to start with baseball. Tonight, the Yankees will start a 3-game series at Yankee Stadium against the Blue Jays. I'll be there tonight, but I want to know what your thoughts are on the series.
I will be there tomorrow. I'll
Good
tell
for
you
you.
that. Yeah,
Yay.
actually, it's kind of like off a whim. Me and my dad are going.
Wow,
First
you're
time-
finally going to a game.
I
This is
went.
your
I went
third
to
game.
one.
Wait, is this your first or?
No,
Third.
this is my second or
No,
third.
third. Because you went to the game when you were sitting in 227, and then you went to the game
Who was I with? 227.
You were with your dad.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I was with my dad. So,
Wow,
yeah, this
he
is my
knows your
third.
life better than you do.
No, because he's literally at every game I'm at.
He's
which
like,
is
I don't even know how many games I've been to. Oh man,
They all just meld together to me.
Well, yeah, they really do. But I keep saying this to you. It's very infuriating. The Yankees play down to their opponent, and I don't know why.
They
I
only
also-
scored 6 runs total against Tampa. Just think about that
They
for a
can't
second.
beat Tampa.
They really can't, and
This
they
year,
need to.
yeah.
Matt Duffy is the new Yankee killer. I'm serious. He's taking the place of Longoria.
Kolarek is the new Yankee killer.
All of them.
Bases loaded, nobody out, and he gets out of it.
Okay,
insane.
listen, the bases loaded thing, especially at the end of the game, that was the 3 worst plate disciplined at-bats I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Bird flies out, Gardner strikes out on a weak hack. I turned it off at that point. I'm like, well, game's over now. But oh my God, I'm losing faith, I'm losing patience, I'm losing everything. And Greg Bird, I don't know what's going on here.
I think it's a little early to lose faith, but it's not too early to be concerned. There's a month left. Once we get out of August, we're at a month left, and this is not figured out yet. Judge isn't back, and it just seems to keep getting delayed.
I was just about to say, when
And
is
the
he coming back?
The Yankees never do this. They always overpredict injuries. They underdid it on him this time, and that's weird. That's
That is weird.
strange.
Yeah, they didn't know when he was coming back. They still don't know.
And even if we do get Sanchez back, when we do, he's already working out in Tampa,
Which is good.
which is fine. No
But
rush as far
Roma-
as I'm concerned. Who knows? He's probably going to be. He could be the same as when we last
I was
saw
just about
him.
to say, Romine's been better than
Much
Sanchez
better this week.
year.
Much better this week. Absolutely.
This year,
This
not
whole
this
year.
week,
No.
this
I'm
year.
sorry. The whole year, but this past week, the last 7 games he's been great.
Yeah, Romine's been really good this
Really,
past
really
week. This Yankee team is so infuriating to me. Eric, I agree with you 100%. They're going to be lucky to make it out of the wild card game. And in the ALDS, they're going to be embarrassed against Boston.
Absolutely.
They'll be lucky to win a single game against Boston.
What if it's just as simple as the fact maybe they're not a good regular season team down the stretch, but a better playoff team? Is that outrageous to say?
Not going to happen. Too young a team.
I agree. I
This is
completely agree.
This is Torres's and Andujar's first playoff series. This will be Stanton's first playoff series as a Yankee. We know that Judge is not a good playoff performer. The only guys who I can really trust on are Gregorius, Tanaka, Sabathia. That's pretty much it. I have no faith in this Yankee team whatsoever. It's like watching a dying puppy, to be honest with you. A few years ago, they backed into the playoffs, and they lost to Dallas Keuchel. That's what this is reminding me of. They're going to win the wild card game. There's no question about that. They're better than Oakland. They're better than Seattle. They can beat them in a one-game playoff. But ALDS, they're going to get swept. There's no question about that in my mind. I'm not going to give them a single game. The way they're playing, I can't give them a single game. They're not better than Boston in one game. No chance.
I'd love to argue with you. I mean, I'm sorry. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Both of those teams, it doesn't matter who you get matched up with, and it's going to wind up being the Red Sox. They're going to run roughshod over us.
I also still think it's that, it's coming down to one problem, and I'm still sticking with it, that I really do not like Aaron Boone with this team at all. And
he's a part of it.
He really is, and I feel like with a different manager, even if you kept Joe Girardi, I feel like this would be a different team than it is right now.
I agree with
in
you.
terms of maybe not players, it's just intensity. And
Girardi's Yankees always always overachieved. They never finished with a losing record.
Yep.
Girardi, at the very least, never held them back. I can't say that about Boone.
No.
You cannot tell me that this is the pinnacle of what the Yankees are doing.
Boone just doesn't look like a guy to me that's like taking action and like he like I'm the boss technically, like of the team. I feel like he's not taking that action. I feel like he's too soft.
He has a very laid back personality.
Too malaise, yeah.
That's what the Yankees wanted. Cashman wanted a yes man. He wanted his own Murray Cook, his own Bill Burgish, his own Pete Peterson, whoever gave Paul Cedric Tallis. I can keep going down the line. The simple fact is, it's not going to work with this team.
No, especially in New York, too. I feel like all New Yorkers are not like that.
I mean, George Steinbrenner isn't there anymore. You don't need a yes man. You need someone who's going to light a fire under these guys. That's why I liked Girardi. I was sorry to see him go.
I thought it was going to be a huge mistake.
Incensed.
Yeah.
I was incensed when he was
I think it is a huge mistake.
Too.
I think you're right, Eric. I still think it is a huge mistake. I really do.
Here's the thing I'll say about firing Boone. It's the same thing as firing Callaway. I don't like firing a manager after 1 year, but it's a little different with the Yankees because if there's a great manager out there, maybe John Farrell, who I've been screaming for the past year, then I would do it. But Farrell's the only guy who I would fire Boone for.
The only reason I agree with you, and I'm with you, I would not fire a manager after 1 year. But the reason I agree with that is you have a team that talent-wise is ready to win now. So you need somebody who can get the best out of these guys. And I'm sorry. I think we've given him enough time. It's not Aaron Boone. It's just not.
He can get there. Next year, it's going to be very different. This is going to be a very different Yankee team next year.
The only way that I see Aaron Boone not making it to next season is if the Yankees go on this massive collapse, they miss out on home field advantage in the wild card, maybe even lose out on the playoffs in general. That's the only way I can see Aaron Boone not being here.
You really just lock it down, he's here next year, other than that?
Yes, I would. Because
what if they can get John Farrell?
If they can get John Farrell, of course, I would say I would take a really big, hard look into it. But, it's interesting. I don't know. Because, like you said, I wouldn't fire a manager a year into his tenure because...
I really don't like it, I'll be honest with you.
Because there's going to be growing pains. We already knew that. The Yankees and Boone have been very fortunate to have a great season as they have been. Not as of recently. On top of that, people are hurt. But no, I don't think I would fire Boone at all unless a huge, huge collapse happens.
Also for the team as a whole, too, if you think about it, having to fire, after 1 year, they have to start like a whole new fresh start again and get used to the guy. Even though obviously the teammates, the players can't do anything about it. If it happens, it happens. But it is something you have to get used to. And the change could affect the team also.
I mean... It's kind of interesting with Boone. On the one hand, it doesn't take a genius to manage this team. On the other hand, you have one of the toughest jobs in the world. Manager of the New York Yankees. You have 1 million people second-guessing every decision you make. And there's a part of me that feels sorry for Boone just because he wasn't ready for this. It's clear that he was not ready for this. He was the wrong hire. If you wanted to get into coaching, I have no problem hiring you as a third base coach for the Yankees. That's fine. Bench coach,
and then work your way up.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Even if you wanted to skip that altogether and go to manager, that's fine. Go to some small market where no one really cares about winning in baseball. But the Yankees were the wrong team for Boone. They are going to be swept in the ALDS under him. And if the Yankees can get John Farrell, I'm all for bringing him in over Boone. Also tonight, the Mets will continue their 5-game series in Pennsylvania against the Phillies. It will not all be in Philadelphia because the last game is in Williamsport. It's a Little League Classic, which should be fun. What do you think of the series?
This game, this team is crazy right now. It's so weird how this goes. Where back-to-back nights they score more than 16 runs. They beat the Orioles 16-5, and then yesterday they beat the Phillies 24-2. It just doesn't make sense. And you want to know what this is the worst part about it too? The Mets organization could be like, "Wow, we have such good hitters. We don't need to do anything."
And they do it when it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it just doesn't matter. Hooray! Right?
Yeah. Did you see the idiot on MLB.com, MLB's official Twitter account, saying that they're back? Did you see that tweet?
No.
Go and look. This is real.
Look at this right now.
When was this? Yesterday?
This was yesterday.
Who can make that claim? Oh, they're back because come on, in garbage time during their season.
More than half of those players might not even be on the team next year.
That was the most infuriating thing. In all seriousness, I actually felt sorry for you as a Met fan after seeing that, because it's like, way to ruin such a great moment, scoring 30 runs yesterday between the two games by saying something that stupid.
Yeah.
It was MLB's official Twitter account, so you guys can look. Maybe it was deleted. I'll tell you what, MLB has had some issues with its Twitter recently with that stupid Shohei Ohtani and Ichiro Suzuki thing. That was ridiculous. I mean, they scored more runs yesterday than they have in a week.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I've never seen anything like this before.
And, the bats are on fire. Good for the team, but it's not like it means anything anyways. It has nothing to do with that. And the Mets organization, they just need to realize that they need to go on a fire sale.
That's why
it's that simple.
I don't know if you heard Tuesday's show, but there was a report by Nick Cafardo of the Boston Globe that the Mets were looking into two guys, Tony LaCava, who's been with the Blue Jays since 2002, wrong guy for this team, and Bobby Heck, a young up-and-coming executive. He's been with the Rays, been with the Astros, very successful rebuilds. That's the guy I want for the Mets.
Just the resume sounds good, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found two. 40 runs in 2 games. Are the Mets back? And then
maybe that's what it was.
What?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's the only one that I found. And then
you just said you found 2.
Yeah, MLB. Well, I'm talking about the only one in terms of what you just said. But this is the other one. The Mets scored 24 runs today. This was yesterday. That's a franchise record, breaking the mark of 23 they set 31 years ago today. Those are the only 2 I found. MLB is an idiot.
Yes, it is. I don't know who's running. I don't know.
MLB is an idiot.
Yes.
If it's one.
It's one person. It's one person.
Just this one guy.
It's just the one guy that actually thought that.
I mean, it's one person running the account, probably.
It is.
I don't know who that person is, but that person should be ashamed of himself.
Most of the time, it's not really the actual team or players sometimes even running their own social media accounts. Yeah, they hire people.
Yeah.
That's a job now, guys.
Hey, listen, Donald Trump doesn't write all his tweets.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. If the President of the United States can outsource, anyone can outsource. So, one other thing about the Mets that I felt really bad for, Jacob deGrom.
Yes.
This guy can't get a break. They scored 30 runs yesterday. I feel like a broken record. And this guy is 7-7.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a joke. How do you not give your star pitcher any run support? He's pulling an opposite Ivan Nova. He really is.
Because the team can't do it.
Pulled that out of your rear end. That is a really good metaphor. I like that.
See that? I know what I'm doing on this show.
Oh, an opposite Ivan Nova. I like that. Okay.
In a month, you guys are going to be crying for me. Boy, I wish Jacob was here. I really wish Jacob was here.
Let's not go crazy.
Oh, when it comes time for the Jets, you know you'll want me.
And I will demand you.
All in.
Oh, man.
I have an answer for you. I have a question for you. All of you.
Is it an answer or a question?
It is a question that I think I have the answer to.
Okay.
Is Jacob deGrom the Cy Young?
Absolutely not.
Really?
You can't give someone the Cy Young Award when he's going to finish with less than 10 wins.
I disagree.
You're nuts.
I disagree only because I don't look at the Cy Young the same way. I know what you're saying. I look at MVP in that light. You can't give it to a guy who's on a losing team. That I completely agree with. But as far as Cy Young, it goes to the best pitcher in my opinion, and it's Jacob deGrom.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I would give my vote to Max Scherzer, and the Nationals aren't making the playoffs.
I have one argument against Matt Scherzer, and that's that he gets an insane amount of run support.
Look at his ERA.
I understand. His ERA is terrific.
His strikeouts are great. His innings pitched are great.
But 0.4%. I mean, 0.4 ERA lower is Jacob deGrom. I know he's got more strikeouts than Jacob deGrom does, but the other thing is, on average, and I actually spent all morning getting this stat, because there's I could not find the actual stat. The run support per innings pitched for Max Scherzer is over 4. The run support per innings pitched for Jacob deGrom is under 3. It's 2.58, I think. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if Scherzer's getting 4 runs run support. He has a 2.19 ERA. So you can score 3 runs every start, and more often than not, you're winning.
I get it, but when the starts that he had, and it hasn't, it's been only one.
If you doubled Jacob deGrom's win total, it would still be less than Scherzer.
Let me ask you a question now. There are some people that feel this way. What do you say?
I'm not mad at you.
No. I look at deGrom, and this is the thing I look, and it frustrates me so much is this team has had the opportunity 1-run games, 2-run games, 3-run games.
Jacob deGrom should have 20 wins.
He should have 20 wins. This should be a runaway.
You're right. You're
It's
100%
ridiculous.
right. But it's not. We don't live in Sugarland.
No, I know. I'm just saying.